just days to release, hours to release. What was your state of mind at this point of time during the release of KGF 1, KGF 2 compared to Salaar?
Very nervous. This is probably the first time, this is my fourth movie, but 3 times before this, I have not liked my movie a week before the release.
Right.
So this time I'm more nervous because I like my movie.
So, is this supposed to be a good thing or a bad thing?
I was told that, the 3 times before, I was so nervous that the movie is not going to do well.
Yeah.
And they said that is probably a superstition that I should not like my movie. Because this time I've tried pure drama, sir. So drama is, very few people are gifted with that. You are one of them who has shown drama, just 2-3 characters that stand out and they are enough to take the movie forward. And I have tried that with this movie. Of course, I have more characters other than Prithvi sir and Prabhas sir to do that. Just sticking to a story and not deviating from it to show unnecessary elevations and or to have a set song come in somewhere, and to try something like that is very new for me. And I thought I'm not capable of doing something like that, though I told Prabhas sir from day one when I narrated this story to him that I want to try pure drama. And for some reason I did not show that I have pure drama with the trailer. I probably failed to show that aspect of it. It probably just looked like a bunch of villains, and there is this one big hero who is going to do that. So this time I'm nervous because I like the movie. And this is not an advertisement of the movie. I might be wrong, but I like the story that I've told Prabhas sir, to Prithvi sir, to all the actors. When I told them that this is the story, and that is exactly what has come out. And I'm nervous because of that.
Drama always works, and it works especially with Prabhas. We always talk about it. His face itself is like, you will see, he doesn't need to do anything. He just stands there, and immediately you feel that emotion pouring out of him.
We should tell this to producer. I don't need to do anything.
No, emotion not pouring out of him. I think the emotion comes out of the audience. I always feel that when he just stands there, whether it's angry, whether the character he's playing is angry or doing whatever, people feel for him.
Yeah.
He has that. He's blessed with that phase, and combined with your dramatic story, I think that it's going to work extremely well.
So definitely I have Bahubali 3 then. So, but I feel Prashant sir did extraordinary drama with especially me and Prithvi sir. The whole story is between us, and there's a beautiful drama between me and Mother and Shruti Hasan. So I think he's very good in drama. Even KGF we see, but this is the whole film is based on the drama. He wanted to do a drama. I think he got inspired from you also, because he used to talk about you, how Rajamouli is very good with his drama, and yeah.
Now we might have KGF, like you said, KGF and KGF 1 and 2. The elevation scenes are what people talk about, but we know what holds the film together is the drama between the mother and son, and how that relationship helped shape his character and what he is like. I think the film held together because of that. Elevations are, like I always say, that are cherries on top of the cake, but the cake itself is the drama, and KGF had a lot of that, and if you felt that was not enough, this is more, then I can expect imagine what kind of a cake that we are that you are going to serve the audience.
And when we thought we'll do, I called Rajamouli. Always I call him like, Prashant is wants to do a film. I was like, don't even think, just do it.
Thank you for that.
Prithvi, as an actor and as a director, you have done movies which are like absolutely dramatic. So when Prashant talks so much about the drama in Salaar, how do you see that? Is it true that the film has a lot of drama,
First
or
narration,
you think he's thinking that's a lot of drama?
Good question.
I keep comparing Salaar, I've told Prashant also this, to Game of Thrones. Because the drama is like that. There are so many characters and plot points and so many intricate character dynamics. I don't know how he's going to fit the story in 2 parts, by the way. It's a tough thing to do. I remember the first time we met for the look test in Hyderabad. I was actually shooting one of my directorials in Hyderabad at that time. So after shoot, late night, 9:30, 10, I went to his office and I tried on my outfit and the look, and we took a couple of stills. And that's the first time he gave me an in-person narration of what was then the final draft. With Prashant, there is never a final draft. So, yeah, I think given a chance, he'll write a scene now and shoot. By the way. So he gave me the narration of what was the final draft then. And he went downstairs to set up the photo shoot, and I was having my dinner. So I suddenly realized on the wall there was a huge board. Do you remember this? On the wall there was a huge board, and he had written down each character of Khan Sir, the history of Khan Sir, how the political so-called consulate of Khan Sir is set up, what is the relationship between each tribe in Khan Sir. And it's like this huge board filled with diagrams and names and arrows and connections. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, oh my God, like to make this much of a story, how much has this man thought from the history of Khan Sir? It is out and out drama. And the greatest thing is, the natural dramatic progression of the plot has so much space for action and goosebumps and hero elevation, and I can guarantee that there will be no Prabhas fan walking out of the theatre unhappy. That much I'll tell you.
I absolutely loved the dinosaur dinosaur elevations. How do you come up with it without even talking about it? There is, I mean, you never mentioned, the character never mentions the word dinosaur. No, it's just that way you build up, and people are going crazy with prabhas, dinosaur, salaar, dinosaur, and all that. How do you come up with that kind of elevation scenes? Is like
Without saying the word.
Yeah, without saying the word.
That's
And
the specialty of Prashant, I think.
and I loved the way Tinu Anand sir said that. In that part, there is the way he
The
says
way
it,
Tinu
like,
sir said.
absolutely kick-ass. I think audience are like, I don't know how many elevation scenes you are giving in the movie.
Many.
There's a lot.
For me, I'm going to go for that one. That one is enough for people to rush to the theaters. Thank you, sir. What is the worst thing about working with Prabhas?
Good. Please, sir, you
You
say.
cannot diet. So one day my family came to visit me, and I have a daughter. She's 9 years old. So he asked my daughter, what do you like to eat? So she's a little girl, no? She's, I think, rattled off some 20 different things. You won't believe that day, I'm not exaggerating, this is actual truth. I had to take one more room that night to keep the food. and I'm like, next day morning I asked him, sir, did you think that I have brought my uncles, aunties? There were 3 of us, myself, my wife, and my daughter. And I had photos in the other phone. It is unbelievable. It's impossible to diet with Prabhas sir around. And the thing is, he doesn't eat also. He doesn't eat. He'll have that one small bowl. He'll have some rice and some dal or something. I don't know, something like that. And he will keep feeding you. He'll keep feeding you. It's impossible to diet. That's
And
a
look
tough
how you're looking, sir. So fit. Shruti says, like, your skin is like 20 years old.
Sir.
She never said anything to me.
And with Prabhas around, you should be very careful. You should not say stuff like, oh, I like this or I like that. Correct? Because evening you go to your room, whatever you said will be in your room, packed and ready. One day I was saying, so I like cars, I like driving. So I said, I was shooting around the country. I just mentioned, it's been a long while since I went home and drove my cars. And he's like, leave my Lamborghini here. You keep it for a few days. I'm like, are you mad? Or what?" So he's like that dangerous person, sir.
Prashant.
When I tell him a scene, he loves it and he does not scrutinize it. He did not, and I go back confused because I first bounce it off with him that this is my scene. And he says something in Telugu which I can't say. Then I go back and I start wondering if I have to get a second opinion or something like, because most of it, like 99% of everything that I've told him, he questions the drama. He's fantastic with drama.
Yes.
That's something that I understood very quickly, because when I gave him the entire narration, he did not ask me about that scene or this scene in particular. He mentioned something which changed the texture of the movie. He said the first scene and the last scene, that is Salaar part 2, the last scene, he said has to be exactly the same. And when he told me that, I was not prepared for him to tell me something like that. I thought he'd say, give me, okay, what is the dialogues in this? Or where does the fight come? Or let us do it like this. Nothing. He'd never said anything like that. And that is very tough for me to come out of, because I have been used to being scrutinized, because I was a nobody in KGF 1. I was scrutinized there, and it was good scrutinizing. I'm not saying it was bad, but over here it is like, when the hero says it is fantastic, then it is like, whatever I've written, I go back and I start thinking if this is enough or not. So that is the worst part about him, that he trusts me too much.
So part 2, I won't say that. I'll say, sir, I think you can make it better.
I made a statement about Prabhas. Again, in Telugu, I can't say that in exact, but it loosely translates into Prabhas is a person who looks like an idiot but is absolutely shrewd.
Very close. Yeah.
No, I don't.
Because he'll make you feel like, oh no, sir, what, sir?
He will
nothing,
like,
sir."
he doesn't know anything.
Exactly.
He's like, you can easily fool him, or like, you feel
Nobody
him, but
can
he's absolutely shrewd.
And I don't know if you remember this, when we were shooting the Masra fight, I told you the exact same thing Rajamouli sir said in the beginning, that you are very blessed because I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah, I remember,
I
sir.
told him you are very blessed because you just have to stand there, you know. Like rest of us are all trying to perform, trying to act. You just have to stand there, and he's got this really nice face with the line, the side of the forehead and everything. And it's like, you just have to stand there and it's okay, then nothing, you do nothing else. I told the same thing to him actually. Yeah.
Really, I have very good screen presence. I'm very lucky. And
Yeah.
I used to ask him, because he's not only actor. I think in the country we have only one prithviraj who has like given the biggest blockbuster and a superstar. And he's very good in many things. For Hindi, which I tried, Saho and Radhesham, it was very hard for me. Telugu first time, because we watch Hindi films.
Yeah.
Tamil, I know I was born there, but still it was very hard for me. He comes, last minute Prashant changes something and he's like, what's the last minute you change? He's never angry. I never saw an actor like that. It's always cool, first day to last day. I fell in love with him actually. Actually, sir, I fell in love with you more than Shruti, 100%. That's for sure. Whatever people think, I don't know. Even little irritation on your face, never. The last one, it's very hard. Telugu, he never did. Telugu is very hard. We don't.
One
they
thing
don't.
I requested Prashant sir. One thing I said,
Just give
I will
dialogue.
only act. So Prashant was okay with Tinu sir saying his lines in Hindi and the Tamil gentleman saying his lines in Tamil. So I told Prashant, there is no way I'm going to say my lines in Malayalam. I will learn Telugu and I will say my lines in Telugu. But I have one request. Give me the lines at least 24 hours in advance so that I can learn.
24 seconds before, I think.
No, he'll give me every day 24 hours in advance. Him and Sandeep, is he here? Okay, him and the dialogue writer, 24 hours before they'll give me, sir, and some like big lines they'll give, and I'll at the night and all, I'm like walking on the treadmill and all. I'm learning my lines. Next day I'll come. They'll be like, Prashant will be like, okay, ready. Roll camera. Wait. He'll run and come and say, sir, that line, you change and say this, sir. I say,
What? And it's like, you're torturing him. I used to talk with Sandeep, everybody. We can't say like Prashant is like seriously into the shot. Sandeep, you're torturing him. For him, it's like Telugu is like
Yeah,
really a foreign
completely alien
language for him,
language, yeah.
because he doesn't watch, maybe he watched 1-2 Telugu films. I think he watched only Bahubali or something.
Bahubali 1, 2, I watched
Telugu,
Telugu,
or
yeah.
maybe 4 films in your life.
maximum, sir.
So like it's very hard to do that. Like, don't do that. And Prithvi sir, in 1 minute, I don't know how he does it. It's like almost 90% Telugu. In dubbing, you see, it's so good. I asked him like, sir, how many talents you have? You direct, you're a superstar, you know languages, you are very good in English, you are super educated. How many you do, sir, in a day?
I only know to act, sir. I'm basically an actor, accidental director, that's all. But
Sir, accidental director, no. Sir, Lucifer, we all saw, sir.
When Prithvi sir joined us, we had given him the dialogues, and I did not know what kind of a person he was. He comes on the set, and he keeps to himself. Maybe it seems like arrogance or whatever. And he was looking at his phone, and he was sitting down in one place. I did not know whether I had to disturb him. I finally realized that he was looking at his dialogues. He was sitting quietly by himself, putting the earphones, and he was learning his dialogues. That is why he was sticking far away from the rest of us.
then I realized it's a futile exercise. Because anyway, just between takes and all, he'll change lines. So then, so future actors who get the privilege of working with Prashant Neil, don't learn your lines.
When you wanted to direct a movie with Prabhas, I don't know whether you already had the script or once you thought of Prabhas, then you started developing the theme. I don't know which happened first, but what aspect of Prabhas did you want to exploit on the screen, or did you want to direct him as a director?
So I know every actor is brilliant, when he comes on screen and everything. That I'm not taking away from anybody.
Of course, each one has their own.
But the one particular thing, and I told him earlier also, was the way he can show innocence, and then he can burst out to be a monster, is something that I haven't seen with everybody. And that is probably what we have exploited in the movie also.
Yeah.
Of him looking like a sheep one moment and him turning into a lion the next.
That is Deva, actually. that is the character.
Yeah.
కాళ్ళు పట్టుకుంటాడు, తల నరుకుతాడు.
Yeah.
So that is something that we, I mean, he is every bit of Deva, the character. He's not he does not like conflicts, but when it comes to his doorstep, he is not going to let it go. So that the innocence is something that I had always seen. You loved it from Varsham, and it was best exploited again in Bahubali. Mirchi was more of being arrogant from the beginning, but Bahubali is something that you would fall in love with a character like that. It wasn't unnecessary for him to be violent, and that is also something that we are doing with Salaar. And that was the first thing that I told him also at that point of time, that I love the innocence, because everything else that comes after that is what we can show in the movie, and that will be the most beautiful part of just before we have an outburst. That moment that he holds himself back is probably going to be the best part of the movie.
So how violent an innocent man can be, that is,
Yes, correct,
that is your take of Prabhas in Salaar.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fans would be like, we'll be going crazy hearing that line. I'm telling you, this is much bigger elevation for them. This is what they want to hear, and this is what they want to see.
The scene where Deva finally flips, because through the film, Varada manages to hold him back. At one point, even Varada can't. He loses the control. The scene where Deva finally flips, I think the synopsis of that scene is what Prashant just said, right? But that is a whole, like, the entire film builds up to that point. Until then, you don't know why are people talking about him? What is the big thing? And then there's a flip that happens, and that scene, I think you should just see in the theater.
Now you are getting me more excited. So some of the questions that the fans really want to know from the horse's mouth, from you, like, is there a connection between KGF and Salaar?
No, sir.
Absolutely
not.
Absolutely
These are
not.
two different worlds. It was very convenient for us to have taken that route, but I have a responsibility. I've come to a very big star, And firstly, I'm not capable of making these connections. I'm not capable of that at all. It's the respect that I have to give to the star that I'm working in the movie, that I am making a new world for people, the way they took back Rocky with them back home. I want them to take back a Deva. I want them to take back a Vardharaj with them. It was the most convenient thing for us to do, and it had come up in discussion a long time back. But personally for me, I did not want to do that. It's not right for us to just encash on that bandwagon of making these connections and bringing people back to the theatre. That would have been the easiest thing.
But do you like that? Do you like that, creating worlds which connect in a larger universe? Do you like that?
I like to see it when it comes out right. Like the Avengers series.
Yeah.
It came out right. And if somebody is doing it, like Lokesh is doing it in the Tamil film industry, it came out right. But I'm not capable of doing something like that, because there are different timelines. KGF happens in the 80s and this happens in today's period.
Okay.
So I'm not capable of doing that. I don't connect with that. But I love to see that connections like that happen, because it turns into an euphoria when you see two characters coming together from different movies.
So, what is your obsession with black?
I have a OCD. I have an OCD and with
OCD.
with monochrome.
Yeah.
And that is somehow reflecting in my movies, which I realized only after I put out the Salaar trailer and teaser. I realized that very strongly. It's nothing to do with my DOP. It's nothing to do with my art director. It's just something that I realized. I have an OCD that I feel that when I put out my content, it has to be with that color, because I don't feel like I'm telling that this is from a world which is as gritty as it is. I'm not brave enough probably to do that, and probably I've realized that that is not the best thing to do. But this world deserves it. This world deserves it. It's a coincidence that it is being compared to the previous world that we created. But it has nothing to do with that. It's just my OCD which is reflecting in on screen.
Other OCD please?
Yeah, I heard something leak out. I want to talk about those OCDs.
His obsession with black. So I mostly wear black in the film, and Prabhas sir also wears like olive greens and all that. So I'll put on this black kurta kind of a thing, and I'll walk onto set, and Prashant will be like, "Sir," I'm like, "Want me to change?" "Yeah, sir, this is not working." And they'll call the costume department and brief them for 20 minutes, and they'll bring another one, which is exactly the same black. And I'll put that on.
And
And
I'm
he'll be like,
waiting.
sir, I'm really sorry, sir. I'm really sorry. I said, "You want me to change?" "That's okay, I can change again." And he said, "Hey, what's this? He'll go and fire the costume department. Those poor guys will run for their life and bring a third kurta, exactly the same.
and I asked him like, sir,
No, different shade of black.
No, sir.
Different shade of black.
I asked Pruthi sir, they said you change, sir, and yeah. Sir, I don't find any difference. And we both are like, yeah, even I don't, sir. But director wants, let's do it.
His other obsession is hairstyling.
Amma, please don't talk about it. I don't want to, please.
Hairstyling.
Salaar is stories.
Salaar, more than, sir,
screenplay,
first
dialogue,
hairstyle.
direction, hairstyling.
Sir,
Prashant
first
Neat.
hairstyle, sir. First hairstyle, then direction. Then
He will style every actor's hair. Like, he's so particular. Like, he'll come and he'll like, "Sir, this one, sir, one strand, sir, here." And he's so.
I did that with Tinu Anand also.
And Tinu Anand sir is asking me, "Arey, kya kar rahe? I have 7 hair on my head."
he seriously did that. Suddenly,
that
the
is
shot
not my
is like,
problem, sir.
one minute, wait. That is the biggest.
Uses the backlight more than he uses the front light. So it's always, if something is popping out, I can't.
No, it's a problem. It's a serious problem. I understood when I saw like this, nothing, not necessary. Suddenly in the shot, like, one minute, wait. Whole set is like 50 people are there. Wait. He went behind the mother, my mother's character, and he pulled her hair and came. And I was like, what? Who pulls the hair like that from behind? She's like, maybe she got used to it by KGF 2 and now. And she didn't say a word. Who pulls the hair like this? And I'm like, what is this, man? Then I told Fruthi, sir, he has an obsession. Be careful. Huh?
Yeah, that actually
I
first
told him.
Prabhas only told me, because or else I would have been worried, because it was and it's not, he'll be sitting like, the sets are very, very big. If you've seen the sets, it's like massive. So sometimes we have these really super wide shots and he'll be sitting half a kilometer away. He'll come running. It'll be a drone shot and he'll come.
I understand that having the hair, but because in my emotional scenes, I want the hair to fly in a certain way. So, so that's
So there's
I
the
understand that.
biggest propeller in the set. The whole hair is behind us. So it's not here. The hair is behind. Like if Fruthi sir is behind me, my hair is behind him. His hair is behind.
Like just behind you, that scene in jail with Prabhas sir and me. You think that hair is falling over the forehead accidentally? No. It is
Every string, every hair. Many times he stopped for one hair, sir.
yeah, he will do that.
Prabhas has lots and lots of fans and kids. So your film Salaar getting an certification. So how do you feel about it?
The intention was never to make a movie as so violent that it is going to get an A certification. I have seen Telugu cinema last 25, 30 years. I've seen it. Sometimes I thought my action is pale in comparison to the action that was. That is something that I have seen. But they drew out a new guidelines recently, and the censor officer also told me that this is what it is, and the cuts that they were asking for, if they were
They have to come to you by A or
yeah, they had asked for a lot of cuts. I was okay to do all of those cuts, but there were a couple of cuts which I did not want to remove, because it was not going to satisfy the story of the movie, the drama of the movie. And I was very disappointed. I almost sat very quietly in front of her for almost 15-20 minutes, because I know that I have not made a vulgar movie or a movie which is insensible with violence. It is all necessary violence that I have put into Salaar, more than I have put into KGF. I thought this movie requires it, because this movie is about friendship, it is about sacrifice, this is about one character who does not involve himself with anything that is happening with the world. He doesn't seem very interested. But when the world pulls him to do something like that, and we have created situations like that, it was a disappointment for me to begin with. I called up Prabhas sir also and I told him, and his response was very quick. He said, "Teeskunandi." He said, "Take it," because I think this movie is something that deserves that, and probably the guidelines are right. Probably I will think about taking my children to something like that, but the intention is not that.
To make a violent movie, it is about to make a dramatic film in a violent world.
Yes.
That's it. Not to exploit the violence or not to.
Not at all. Not just for the commerciality of violence.
What was your thought, Prabhas? Like A certification. That's it. The main thing is like the
Yeah,
kids.
whatever. They have their own guidelines and all, but the story, it's a violent world. That's what the first caption is like. The most violent world.
Most violent men called one man.
Most violent. So the whole story is based on a Kansar city, which is a violent city. No, we can't change that for certificate, whatever certificate they give. The story should be right. So I thought it's fine.
It's not designed for the violence. It's designed for the emotion and the drama. I never put in one shot also just because I wanted to make rebel star Prabhas look like the rebel star Prabhas of the old, where they'd seen him with blood on his face, and the best was, with Chhatrapati, of course. It was never designed for something like that.
So, one of the complaints that I have about the movie is like 2 songs that I watch on my phone or on my TV again and again are 2 songs of Shruti Haasan from Race Gurram, Padi song, and Charusila. I just love her dancing. Those are the 2 songs that I watch again and again and again. And just outside in the corridor, you were saying that we are not going to have any any duets, like duets. You disappointed me.
I'm very sorry for that, sir.